Hi, everybody. Tom Van Hoy with Pitt State Golf coach Todd Loveland. Coach Loveland in his second year as head coach at PSU. Gorillas have played 2 matches thus far. 9th of 15 teams in the Missouri Invitational, Lake of the Ozarks. 11th of 13 teams, the Nebraska Kearney Invitational. And this weekend, actually Sunday and Monday, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma for Northeastern State Men's Classic there. Here's Coach Loveland on how things have gone so far.
I'll tell you what, we've got a full new recruiting class this year that I'm very excited about. We brought in 4 JUCO kids, and they were all number 1 bags at their respective JUCOs. And I finally feel like the talent's there. Last year when I took over, we had some shortcomings, and you could see it on the course. They were great kids, nothing against them. I mean, nothing bad to say at all about them, but nonetheless, the talent just wasn't there, and I think we probably have our first ever outside recruiting class at Pitt State. I'm pretty excited. Brandon Winfrey comes from Flower Mound, Texas, and a great golfer. He will put it together and be very competitive with the MIAA. Jordan Winfrey came to us from Independence JUCO. Jordan Dunham. And Zach Fate was at Kansas City Community College. And we also have a new golfer, Gable LaForge, from Coffeyville. So we've got some golfers now, and along with Justice Valdivia, he was MIAA first team last year, and freshman of the year is freshman year. So finally the talent's there. I'm excited.
From a recruiting standpoint, how do you identify who you want to go after?
Well, that's unique. I mean, I'm new to this job. I follow a lot of it on the internet, and amazingly, we're in a very good situation. Being in Kansas, there's some of the best JUCOs are around here, and our situation was kind of unique in the fact that our talent wasn't there. We had to address it immediately, and so having them around us made it pretty easy for me to recruit, and I just built some relationships last fall with some of these young men and just followed through, and we were in constant contact. I mean, I'd hear every one of their scores, follow their scores, and the best part of this, sir, is they're all quality kids. I'm not just, that's an easy thing to say as a coach, you love your team and everything, but they truly are quality kids. I've already gotten to know their families, and a solid year of contact. I feel like I've known them for a long time, so, and they're all good friends. They played against each other a lot, and it's the chemistry's unbelievable. So the recruiting side of it actually fell together quite easily.
Is the chemistry part of a golf team important?
Very important. And I like I said, I'm new to this. I played golf all my life. I'm not very good, but I do have a concept of what the game is about. And I was not aware of the team concept of it. And, you're qualifying against each other, and the game itself is so individual. It is not like a team sport at all, in the fact that in team sport you've got a bench and everyone is working. Well, in golf, it's so individual that, that sometimes they're within their own world, and the chemistry part is very important to it because we are striving for a team score. I do not think our talent's there, and neither do the kids, to win a national championship individually or get to where we want to be. But they know they got to do it together, and so the chemistry's vital, and I can't even explain how good the chemistry is. They're all best friends. They all hang out, and it's really neat. It's fun to be around.
Tom Van Hoy visiting today with Todd Loveland, second year as golf coach at Pitt State. Todd, what'd you learn in year 1 as the head coach?
I learned a whole lot, sir. I was new to it completely. I mean, I was taking in the whole concept of the team, of the league, of the competition, and look, it was all coming at me in waves, and just the organization of running a team. And I knew that we were a long way from what the quality teams were there. The Central Missouris, the Central Oklahomas, they're truly programs. And I often just went out, you got a lot of time. If my kids were playing all right, I'd sneak off and go watch some of our competitors play during those tournaments. And the Tim Poe at Central Missouri, he's just a phenomenal coach and runs a great program. And I had my eyes wide open. I'm looking at what they're doing. We're strapped a little bit budget-wise compared to some of those larger programs. But what they're doing on the course is what I'm trying to model myself after and our team after. So the learning curve, everything was new to me, sir. It was brand new. So I'm still in the infancy of it, but we're getting closer.
It probably doesn't matter how you do it, and sometimes you can compare that to other sports, but it's, how many strokes you have at the end of the day. Do you have golfers that have different styles, so to speak, but they're trying to achieve the same results, I guess?
Absolutely. I mean, they all have different styles. I've got some very aggressive golfers that are taking chances probably when they shouldn't be, and I have some very conservative golfers that are, when the chips are down, we need them to go score. They're still going to probably just, play within their game, and quite frankly, those are your best golfers. What's been our hindrance so far this year is I think I've probably pushed them to the point where they think they've got to score, and we've got such high expectations that they're pushing themselves beyond that, and we're taking chances where we shouldn't, where our scores are great and we'll just have one hole or two holes that blow up. It's like I've explained to everyone, golf is so unique, and I've learned this in the last year, that it's catching lightning in a bottle. You've got 4 guys that have to perform for 3 rounds at their top level. One bad round, and we're sunk, and one bad hole can sink us. So, I mean, for us to get where we need to be, it's lightning in a bottle. It is at that moment. And, I mean, I think Jack Nicklaus once said, if you win 20% of your tournaments, you're a superstar. Mm-hmm. And so you've got to do that times 4, because that's how you get a team concept in golf. So it is a unique moment in time that we're trying to grasp, but as a team concept, Central Missouri, the Central Oklahomas, now the Lindenwoods, they do it weekly. They're going to be in the top 5 no matter what. So that's what we're striving for.
Here's an obvious question, but how about the importance mentally? Because you mentioned one bad round, one bad hole, but I'm going to go back to one bad shot. And we talk about football sometimes. You got to put the last play behind you and go on. How difficult is that to do as a golfer?
Very difficult, but I will tell you this: there's only one golfer that has problems with that on our team. It's amazing. All these kids have played golf all their life. Every single one of them grown up on a golf course, country club. A college golfer at this level has actually been through it enough that they know that. The recreational golfer, we have trouble with that. I'm still throwing fits 2 holes later from a bad shot that I stuck in the water. Those kids have played enough competitive golf, that they really can lose it quickly. They know they have to. So at a collegiate level, they have had so much experience through junior golf programs and junior tournaments and high school golf that they know to get where they need to be, they can't be doing that.
I mean, you got to think it kind of reminds me of some other sports too. And you see the Bubba Watsons, you see the Phil Mickelsons. You know what? I'm in the trees, and I'm gonna get it on the green of the Masters and things like that. I guess from that standpoint, sometimes it's better just get it out, get it on, get it in, and move on.
Well, you mean like taking chances like Bubba and Phil do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Those guys will aim for a hole in a tree that's 6 inches wide and often succeed. We try to play a little more conservative than that. But, that mentality is there. So I couldn't agree more. I'm trying to break them of that. That TV golf, those guys can pull those shots off. We're having a little bit of difficulty.
Tell me about when you're not playing and you practice. I'm not sure people know. You think you just go out there, take the bags out there, and you play 36 holes. But do you work on specific things? How do you approach it at Pitt State, I guess?
I'm embarrassed to say this for anyone that's followed our program in the past. They didn't really have practice schedules. They had 0 practice routines. And I think last year when I got to the team, the only thing I asked those kids that were sitting there is, what do you want out of what do you want out of this? And every single one of them across the board said, we want a team. And so, I mean, we've really focused on team concepts, and that starts with the practice schedule. We have definite warm-ups. They cannot start practice until they make 7 putts in a row from 3 feet out, and they've got to make all 7 or you restart. We just do some definite routine stuff, though each individual has strengths and weaknesses. And from that point on, when we're on the range, I'm pretty free with them to let them work on their own game and their weaknesses. But, I mean, if I see some kid that's out there that can hit it 300 yards and standing there with the driver half his time, I mean, I'm on him saying, no, get the wedge in your hand. That's your weakness. So we're working on our weaknesses. We have some definite routines that we go through daily, a lot of putting, a lot of short game. I strongly emphasize they're young men and they're at the height of their physical capabilities, and they can hit the ball a mile. So, I mean, we don't work a whole lot on our long game, long irons, and woods, and hybrids. We spend a ton of time with the short game. So we do have practice routines, but I'm pretty lenient with their individual needs.
How much has equipment changed the game?
Completely. It's absolutely crazy, sir. 2 and 3 years will change the equipment. I mean, personally, you know, the tailor-made products have gone through the roof. They've just 3 years ago, I had one of the first R9s, and you know, we're already at R1s. And technology has changed the game. In fact, it's changed the game so much that last year it was possibly the most unique thing that I saw. I figured those kids would all be out there bombing at 300 yards, and the game is so long now that college coaches have dialed it back. I rarely see, you know, unless it's needed, kids are so smart they don't hit that driver. That hybrid can still fly 245 to 260, and they feel safer with it. So, I mean, 15 years ago, when Tiger hit the scene and everyone was bombing it, and the courses were changing, and as technology grew with the game, everyone was hitting it long. Well, now they know that the hybrids will even travel that far, and they've dialed it back. I mean, it's fun to watch a college tournament. Kids play extremely conservative. Where I still hit a driver on most tee boxes, they're not. They don't need to.
Does everybody have comparable equipment?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, even at high school level, kids are carrying the best stuff out there. And the golf industry has made it available to about anyone. If you're willing to pay the price, you can buy the top-end stuff. I mean, and everything's individualized, from the grips to the shafts to the club heads. I mean, you literally design your own clubs now if you're doing this correctly.
Those of us outside looking in, I think we appreciate when Jim Furyk shoots at 59, but someone like you who's played golf all your life, that's a college golf coach, can you put that in perspective at all, what he did with that 59?
No, sir. If you're asking me individually, you are talking to someone who has played the golf game his entire life, and I have still yet to shoot far in one round. That is the kind of golfer. I shoot 79 to 82 every time. I can't put into perspective. I mean, it's a mental mindset to get out there and do that, of shutting down the world. And they've got TV cameras in front of them, crowds, and everything else. And I constantly, that is one of the things, it's funny you said that, that's one of the things that amazes me about the game, how those guys get into a mindset for 72 holes to go do that week in, week out. It's a different world. I can't imagine.
Hey, as we wrap it up here, maybe you can help me out here. Tiger Woods gets penalized in his last tournament, moves a little branch there, and the ball moves, and is caught on video like everything is with professional golfers nowadays, right? Right. He says it oscillated, didn't move. Can you tell me the difference between oscillation and movement?
No, and I've got to tell you, I mean, wind on putts, windy days, those putts will move and that ball will move. The one thing that I truly, deep down inside, I think golf is overregulated. There's so many intricacies of the game and the rules, when the rules become part of the game, that you're not even aware of them. And now the TV cameras are on those guys. One guy, and wherever he may be, small town in southeast Kansas, it doesn't matter. All he's got to be watching is on TV and see one violation he can question. And the game of golf, I always thought it was an honorary game and a game of integrity, and you call it on yourself. And when some guy in southeast Kansas is watching on TV and calls it on him, I had some difficulties with it. So, no, I can't help it with the oscillating ball rule at all. I am amazed by all the rules.
That's Pitt State golf coach Todd Loveland. We'll hear from Coach Loveland each week throughout the golf season this fall. I'm Tom Van Hoy.